Step aside, lion, we've got a new king of the jungle. While some of you might consider him a peaceful animal, this dude kills more people per year than lions. And we got another one. You want to see the strongest insect in the entire world? Then join the fun and keep on watching. Don't swipe or click away, because here are the most powerful animals in Africa. Number 10. Dung beetle. Why would you ever say that an animal which likes taking cow or bison dung and rolling it into a ball is strong? Well, probably because these little critters can pull an object that is 1,141 times their own weight. This is equivalent to an average person pulling 6 double-decker buses full of people. Yeah, they're constantly carrying that weight if they want to mate. You see, after the male finds a nice and fresh pile of Oh, we can't say that, can we? Let's try that again. Once the male finds a nice and fresh pile of dung, he'll roll it into a ball, the female will cling to the side, and the male will push that ball to find the proper breeding ground. Now, we should mention that the dung beetle will stick his head down, pucker his butt up, and start rolling with his stronger hind legs. Once he finds the right terrain, he'll get underneath the ball and aerate the earth in order to cover the ball of dung. With that out of the way, it's time for the female to place the larvae inside the ball, and that's where they'll hatch. Yeah, and you think your childhood was bad. Number 9. Hyena. The second one on our list is the hyena. Yup, we're talking about the animal that's laughing in the face of danger. Well, this crazy guy has one of the strongest bites in the world at around 1,100 psi. It lives in sub-Saharan Africa, and they usually hunt in clans. To improve their odds, they're unbelievably complex clans that can have as much as 130 members. Unlike other hunters, the spotted hyena is extremely intelligent. You see, several studies have pointed out that a hyena can count the number of hyenas in a rival clan and decide whether it would be wise or stupid to attack them. Brain power, bite force, and a lifespan of about 40 years in captivity or 20 years in the wilderness allows the hyena to be a social and intelligent hunter that's very dangerous because of their aggressiveness. No wonder Scar from Lion King kept these fellas around. Number 8. African buffalo. Boy, did that lion pick the wrong animals to mess with. That buffalo picked him up and threw him up in the air like a dirty old rag, and this is not uncommon in the wilderness. You see, those horns on the buffalo are very pointy and can easily impale any attacker, and no, the buffaloes aren't afraid to use them in smashing that like button just like you should do if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, they're not afraid to use the horns in battle. They're about 4 times stronger than an ox, and they weigh about 1,800 pounds and measure up to 11 feet in length. The reason no predators will mess with them is because they always stick together. Number 7. Ostrich. Now, this might be a little unusual for some, but for those that know how hyenas, leopards, and sometimes even lions will think twice about attacking and taking down an ostrich, it comes with no surprise. The secret lies in those very powerful legs. Aside from being the fastest land bird, running at speeds of up to 43 miles per hour, they're also really difficult to take down, mainly because they can deal some lethal kick with their 2-toed feet. Because these legs are so big, the ostrich clears a distance of 15 feet just by making a single stride. They weigh between 300 and 350 pounds, and they can reach a height of about 9 feet. Now, an ostrich has been known to eat anything, meaning it's an omnivore, but it still prefers grass and roots over everything else. Not only is this bird one of the toughest out there, the ostrich also has the largest eggs. Number 6. Gorilla. When someone says gorilla, you know they're talking about strength. First of all, a gorilla has an unbelievable bite force of 1,300 psi, and they're 500 pounds of pure muscle mass. These bad boys can live for about 35 years, and the closest we would ever advise getting to one is at the zoo. Take a look at this man who got charged by a gorilla. The reason this silverback backed off is because the man showed no signs of fear. Had he flinched just a single muscle, the silverback would have torn him apart limb by limb. And when it comes to their social behavior, the alpha will be heading the group of about 30 gorillas, including other males, females, and their offspring. And yes, you guessed it, the alpha is the strongest one in the group. Number 5. Rhino. They're probably the strongest, but also the most threatened animals on this planet. They have skin that can sometimes reach a thickness of about 2 inches, and they're more than powerful enough to charge and flip over a truck. Just take a look at these few examples. Some of the smaller species of rhinos can weigh about 3.5 tons, and all of that mass comes from eating lots and lots of leaves. Their sense of smell is seriously heightened, however, their eyesight is not that good, meaning they'll not see you if you're standing 100 feet away. So our tip, never get closer than 100 feet to a wild rhino. Now, regardless of how majestic and powerful they are, some people only see them as a bag of cash. Poachers will capture a rhino, tie it, and then cut off its horn to sell it on the black market. While they're off making illegal money, the rhino is bleeding to death. Thankfully, an increased number of international organizations is protecting the rhino from poachers and its extinction. Number 4. Bull shark. Some call it the Zambezi shark. These apex predators of the sea have a bite force of 1,350 psi, which is more than the silverback. Now, they're not as big as some other sharks, so they only weigh about 300 pounds with a maximum length of 11 feet, but they still remain one of the fish no one likes to mess with. It's interesting how bull sharks are known to dwell in freshwater, and their dwelling point is usually the shallow waters near the shore. If you see one, you better get out of the water as soon as possible. Why? Because they're very aggressive, and they'll attack without hesitation, making bull sharks one of the deadliest sharks in the world.
Top 3.
Number 3. Lions. Hey, the lion isn't the king of the jungle for nothing. Lions are responsible for about 22 human deaths every year. The millions of other zebras, gazelles, antelopes, etc. who fall prey to the king of the jungle, heck, even other predators fear the lion. A grown male can reach a weight of about 500 pounds, and they can grow to 7 feet in length. Just this fact alone makes them several times more powerful than humans, and if we're comparing them to hyenas, about 20 of these laughing killers would be needed to take down the king. Number 2. Hippo. This is the second strongest animal in the world by bite force because a hippo's bite exerts 1800 psi. The adults have a mass of up to 1.8 tons and anywhere between 11 and 16 feet. Now, just as a little word of caution, if you're ever in a pond and you see a hippo opening its jaw like that, he's not yawning. The hippo is trying to mark his territory, and the next thing he'll do, if you don't back off, is attack you. Now, because they can't swim or float, but still spend the majority of their time underwater, these guys have to resurface. And because their skin is very sensitive, they secrete this reddish substance which protects their backs but also makes them seem like they've been in a horrible fight. Number 1. Nile crocodile and elephant. Since we couldn't decide about which animal to place as our number 1 pick, we went with the both of them. The first one is the Nile crocodile, and the reason we've included it on this list is because this beast has a bite force of 4,000 psi. Compare that to humans' 75 psi, and you realize the bone-crushing power these crocs have. Just listen to the snap of that jaw snapping shut as soon as the trainer dangles the piece of chicken in front of its mouth.
Whoa. Not much, that's pretty soft.
This Nile crocodile is about 18 feet, but this was a little excessive, and we can say that the average size is somewhere between 11 and 12 feet. The size can vary widely, going from 300 all the way up to 450 pounds. The biggest croc ever measured was one from Tanzania that measured 21 feet, 6.45 meters, and weighed a jaw-dropping 1,089 kilograms or 2,400 pounds. Now imagine this dude performing the death roll with some zebras. He's gonna tear the animal limb from limb. And of course, the most powerful animal by strength alone is, of course, the elephant. These guys can reach 11 feet in height and weigh a jaw-dropping 6.9 tons. That's the size of a freaking truck. And while many people know them as kind and gentle creatures, elephants kill between 100 and 500 people per year, whereas only 22 people die from lion attacks. They can carry up to 14,000 pounds, which is basically 100% of their weight, and that's also the same as 130 humans. They've been shown flipping cars, removing trees, and sometimes they even change the flow of a river by plowing through the mud. When you have an animal capable of destroying a house, then you better stay away. If you enjoyed this video, you'll like the next one. This is Koala with Koality Content. See you soon.